Hi everyone, we're now on the fourth integration technique. Okay, so manata sa IBP, trigointegrals, trigosubstitution, and now we're on rational functions. So before we start the topic for rational functions, we recall that a rational function contains a numerator and a denominator. So for example, kung sa integral siya, if we are asked to find the integral of 1 over x dx or integral of dx over x, similar na sila, no? So that is a rational function. So pero kung ingon ani lang ka simple, ln naman siya, dali ra nato siya i-solve. And for this one, integral of 1 over x minus 1 dx or integral of 1 over x minus a, or integral of x plus 2 over x minus 3 dx, or integral of x squared minus 4x over x minus 3 dx. So those are simpler or simple na rational functions where we can solve using the basic na mga integration na formulas. So dili na kinahanglan na magamit ta aning rational function. Pero in this na topic, syempre mag-solve ta og mga complex na mga integration na mga problems or kanang complex na integrand, no? So ang rational functions, we are going to follow the rule ni partial fractions. So siguro kabalo man siguro mo og bungkag og mga rational functions, no? Pero anyway, magbuhat pod ko og separate na video para ani. So 1 over x minus 2 minus 1 over x plus 2 is, kung ato siyang i-usa, lugar nato siya, no? In simplified form. So x minus 2 times x plus 2. Tapos mag-cross multiply ra din ka dinhi. X plus 2, butang mo sa numerator dinhi. Tapos kini din dito. Okay, so kung ma-simplify siya, may mo na siya 4 over x squared minus 4. So dinhi sa rational functions na integration technique, if we are asked lugar integral of 4 over x squared minus 4 dx, it is equal to the integral of kato iyang mga factors. So quantity of 1 over x minus 2 minus 1 over x plus 2 dx. So simpler na lang siya, mabungkag mo siya into simpler na mga function. So i-distribute na din nato sa integral na sign and si dx. So we can use the basic formulas in integration, Okay, so same with this one. 1 over x squared plus 1 minus 1 over x plus 1 is equal to x minus x squared over x squared plus 1 times x plus 1. So, ibungkag na dayon ninyo siya pag mag-integrate. So, partial fractions. We show how to integrate any rational functions, which is a ratio of polynomials, by expressing it as a sum of simpler fractions, which are called partial fractions. To illustrate the method, observe that by taking the fractions 2 over x minus 1, this one, and 1 over x plus 2, and 1 over x plus 2 to a common denominator, we obtain, so kini siya class, minus ni siya, minus na siya. So if 2 over x minus 1 minus 1 over x plus 2, ang may tabuan ni, di ba, atong i-multiply ang yang denominator. So we can have a common denominator. So x minus 2 plus times x plus 2 mao ang atong denominator class. I-cross multiply din nato siya. Kini siya will be multiplied to the numerator of the other one, and x minus 1 will be multiplied to the numerator of the other, to the right one. So we now have a common denominator tapos a numerator multiplied by the denominator of the other na function. So we have 2 times x plus 2, quantity x plus 2 minus the quantity of x minus 1 all over the common denominator, which is x minus 1 times x plus 2. So therefore, we have a x plus 5 over x squared plus x minus 2. So recall lang ta sa ato ang algebra. So if we now reverse the procedure, we see how to integrate the function on the right side of this equation. So given that given that rational function, we can now solve it by gibungkag na to siya, gina-dissect na to siya into simpler na mga function. So now we have integral of 2 over x minus 1 minus 1 over x plus 2 dx. So therefore, the answer is 2 ln absolute value of x minus 1 minus ln x plus 2 dx. Plus t, plus t. So to see how the method of partial fractions works in general, let's consider a rational function f of x is equal to p of x over q of x, where p and q are polynomials. So, magamit na to ng rational functions kung polynomials lang or kung complicated lang ato ang given na rational function. Pero kung katong kagay na nga gipakita nato sa first slide na simple lang siya nga mga functions, so we can easily use the basic na integration ng mga formulas. So proper function, it's possible to express f as a sum of simpler fractions if the degree of p is less than the degree of q. Such as rational function is called proper function. So, kung proper function siya, kung ang degree ni P is less than the degree of Q, or ang degree sa numerator is lesser than the degree ni denominator. Kaya kung dili, it is called an improper function, di ba? So, degree of P, we recall that if P of x is equal to A sub n times a sub n, x to the power of n, plus, then tama na siya, mahimo siya a sub 0. So, summation na siya, no? Where a sub n is not equal to 0, then the degree of p is n, and we write the degree of p is equal to n. Okay, so if the function is improper, that is, the degree of p is greater than the degree of q, then we must take the preliminary step of dividing q into p. So mag-long division ta. That is done until a remainder, not the remainder, is obtained such that the degree of r is lesser than degree of q. So mura ra kag nag-treat og fractions. Diba? Mura ra kag nag-treat og fractions. Kung nakay fractions, for example, nakay 8 over 3, di ba? Ato sang i-extract ang iyang whole number. Kaya para kato na lang yung remainder over the denominator, mao na lang to imuhang i-solve. Okay? So, the division statement is f of x is equal to p of x over q of x will now be equal to s of x plus the remainder of x over the denominator dayon. This is our equation 1, where s and r are also polynomials. So, if you have an improper function, for example, p of x is greater than q of x, imos asyang i-perform ang long division, so nakakuha ka og whole na function, mao na ni si s of x, plus din mo sa remainder over the denominator. This is our equation 1. So, for example, ingon ani ang setting sa ato ang example. So, integral of x cubed plus x over x minus 1 dx. Pagtanaw pa lang nato visually, makita nato na mas dako ang power ni numerator. So, mas dako iyang degree. Okay? So, balikan nato ang degree, meaning ang iyang power sa iyang or iyang exponent sa iyang variable. So, the degree of the numerator is greater than that of the denominator. So we first perform the long division so that we can satisfy the equation 1 or ang katong sa equation 1 nato ang kaganina sa previous slide. So this enables us to write the integral of x cubed plus x over x minus 1 dx. So kung mag-perform ta og long division, we have x squared plus x plus 2 over the remainder, which is 2 over x minus 1. Therefore, we can perform the basic na mga integration, or we can make use of the basic integration ng mga formula. So, we have x cubed over 3 plus x squared over 2 plus 2x plus 2ln x minus 1 plus c. So the next step is to factor the denominator q of x as far as possible. So, mo-insert na po si factorization of q of x. If it can be shown that any polynomial q can be factored as a product. So, linear factors of the form of, kung linear siya, ax plus b. Irreducible quadratic factor, so na siya duha ka factors, no? So, linear o irreducible quadratic factors. So, when we say irreducible quadratic factors, it is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where b squared, or where the factor is not, or b squared minus 4ac is lesser than 0. So for instance, if q of x is equal to x to the 4th minus 16, we could factor it as q of x is equal to x squared minus 4 times x squared plus 4. So siguro medyo familiar naman kayo mo aning factorization. So we can further factor x squared minus 4, right? So we have x minus 2 times x plus 2 times x squared plus 4. So the third step is to express the proper rational function r of x, or the remainder, over the denominator as a sum of partial fractions in the form of a over capital A over ax plus b to the power of I, or ax plus b over ax squared plus bx plus c to the power of j. So for case 1, so na mabot na sa tuwa mga ano, there are 4 cases. So for case 1, the denominator q of x is a product of distinct linear factors, which means that we can write q of x is equal to a sub 1x plus b, so on and so forth, where no factor is repeated and no factor is a constant multiple of another. So in this case, the partial fraction theorem states that there exists a sub 1 to a sub k, such that, ingon nanata equation 2, the remainder over the denominator is equal to a sub 1 over a sub smaller a sub 1 x plus b sub 1 going to a sub k over a sub k x plus b sub k. These constants can be determined as in the following example. So, proceed to sa example, no? Para mas masabdan nato siya. Evaluate the integral of x squared plus 2x minus 1 all over 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x dx. So first, we check, we evaluate visually kung asa ang iyahang, asa mas dako numerator ba or denominator. So therefore dinhi, upon viewing the integrand, the numerator is lesser than the denominator. So the degree of the numerator is lesser than the degree of the denominator. So therefore, we do not need to perform long division. So we factor the denominator. So next step, first step, check it visually kung asa mas dako numerator ba or denominator. Pag check na to, okay, mas gamay ang numerator. Therefore, we can proceed with the factorization of denominator. So we have 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x. Therefore, we can perform factorization. Ipagawas na to si x since common man siya sa tatlo. So we have x times 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. Na-extract na nato si x. We can also factorize the given na polynomial. So we have x times 2x minus 1 times x plus 2. So it has three distinct linear factors. Therefore, niswak siya dito sa atong case number 1, which states giingnan ta niya nga dapat na siya ay three distinct linear factors, di ba? Na dinhi. Dapat na siya product of distinct linear factors. Okay? So swak siya sa case 1. So the partial fraction decomposition of the integrand katong gamito nato tong equation number 2. Okay? So given man tatong x kini sa to atong x squared plus 2x minus 1. So x squared plus 2x minus 1 over the factor katong three distinct factors sa iyahang denominator, which is 2 times x times the quantity of 2x minus 1 times x plus 2. So mo na ang nasa itong denominator. So equals, gamiton din nato itong naa sa equation 2 kaganina. So we have a, capital A over x, which is our first distinct linear factor, plus b, and the next distinct linear factor, plus c, which has the denominator of the next. So a, b, and c. So that we can satisfy the equation 2. So now we have this equation number 3. So to determine the values of a, b, c, we multiply both sides of the equation by the product of the denominators, obtaining, so magperform ta o multiplication, no? So ato ra tong si numerator nara diya, so katong denominator utang na to, then multiply na to siya sa right side sa equation. So expanding the right side of the equation 4 and writing it in the standard form for polynomials, we get 2a plus quantity of 2a plus b plus 2c times x squared plus quantity of 3a plus 2b minus c minus 2a. So we have equation 5. Okay, so the polynomials in equation 5 are identical. So their coefficient must be equal. So the coefficient of x squared, so dinhi, the coefficient of x squared should be equal to the coefficient of this one. Tapos kini pod dapat equal sa, sorry, murag na ani, wait lang. So diri, equal dapat ang exponent, wait lang class, kaya marag na ni a diri. So 3a squared, so dapat na ni 3a, dapat na ni siya x dinhi. Ano siya x dinhi. Minus 2a. Okay. So the coefficient of x squared on the right side, 2a plus b plus 2c. Okay, x squared. Plus, so we have 2a plus b plus 2c, x squared. Must be equal to that x squared on the left side, which is 1 ang yahang coefficient. Okay, likewise, the coefficients of x are equal and the constant terms are equal. This gives the following exact system of equations for A and B. So, para din 1 ang iyang coefficient, then next one is 2. So, natay linear na mga system of equations. So, 2A plus B plus 2C is equal to 1, and 3A, kini siya, kini coefficient 3A plus 2B minus C is equal to 2. Okay? So, negative 2A dayon, kay minus 2A is equal to negative 1. Therefore, solving these equations simultaneously, and magamit na to ninyo ang akong gitudlo dinhi sa YouTube no namang ko gibutang diri katong solving three systems of linear equations or systems of equations using your calculator. Nagtudlo naman ko ani. So paabot ninyo ani nga porma, calculator na lang din mo, so we can get the values of A, B, C. So we have A, which is 1/2, B is 1/5, and C is 1/10. Therefore, ato na din i-substitute to. Hence, the integral of x squared plus 2x minus 1 over 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x dx is equal to 1/2, which is the value of A, 1/2 times 1 over x, kini siya nga forma. Okay? A is 1/2. So 1/2 times 1 over x plus, what's the value of B? 1/5. So we have 1/5 times 1 over 2x minus 1 minus the value of C is 1/10. So 1/10 times 1 over x plus 2 dx. So solving that integral na problem using the basic na integral na formulas or properties, now we have 1/2 ln absolute value of x plus 1/10 ln absolute value of 2x minus 1 minus 1/10 absolute value of x plus 2 plus k or plus c. So in integrating the middle term, we have made the mental substitution of u is equal to 2x minus 1. So which gives us du is equal to 2 dx, and dx is du the 1/2 du over 2, sorry, du 1 or 1/2 du. So mao na siya ang nahitabo nimo siya 1/10 dire. So mao ra na siya. So example number 3, find the integral of dx over x squared minus a squared, x squared minus a squared, where a is not equal to 0. So the method of partial fractions gives us 1, extract na tong integral no, which is 1 over x squared minus a squared minus 1 over x minus a times x plus a, which is equal ni siya. Okay, equal. So factor ni x squared minus a squared is x minus a times x plus a. Tapos magamit na ta sa partial fraction, so we have a, capital A over x minus a plus capital B over x plus a. Therefore, a times x plus a plus b times x minus a is equal to 1. So we use the method of the preceding note. We put x is equal to a in the equation and get a times 2a is equal to 1. So a is equal to 1 over 2a or 1 over 2a. If we put x is equal to negative a, we got the value, we can get a value of b, which is negative 2a is equal to 1. So b is equal to negative 1 over 2a. Therefore, so substituting those values in the integral form, so we have integral of dx of, or integral of 1 over x squared minus a squared dx is equal to 1 over 2a integral of, since mao man ang value ni a, so 1 over 2a integral of quantity 1 over x minus a minus 1 over x plus a dx. Therefore, we have our final answer, which is 1 over 2a times the quantity of ln x minus a minus ln x plus a plus c. So since ln x minus ln y is equal to ln x over y, or gamitan nato og difference na property sa logarithmic, we can write the integrals as ln of 2a, ln over 2a, 1 over 2a, 1 over 2a times ln absolute value of x minus a over x plus a plus c. Since, di ba, ang kiningon ani ang final answer. Tapos, naman tayo property sa logarithmic nga pag difference gani siya of two logarithmic terms, ang una is the numerator, tapos ang ikaduha is the denominator. Okay, so ln x minus ln y is equal to ln x over y. And now let's proceed with the second case, or case 2. Q of x is a product of linear factors. Some of these are repeated. Suppose that the first linear factor is a sub 1 x plus b sub 1 is repeated r times. So naay repetition or nagbalik ang ihang isa ka linear factor. So balik ta, recall ta case 1 kung all factors are distinct. Case 2 if naay factor or ang first factor niya, linear factor, is repetitive. Or that is a sub 1x plus b sub 1 to the power of r occurs in the factorization of q of x. Then instead of writing a single term, a sub 1 over capital A sub 1 over a sub 1 x plus b sub 1, in equation 2, we should use a sub 1 over capital A sub 1 over a sub 1 x plus b sub 1 plus a sub 2 over a sub 1 x plus b sub 1 2 until unsa tong last na pila ka factor balik sila sa ikapila balik siya na balik nga factor. So now this is our equation 7. By way of illustration, we could write, for example, x cubed minus x plus 1 over x squared, quantity times quantity of x minus 1 cubed. So, naman tayo, ang una, ang x, nagbalik siya. Ikaduha, x squared man siya. Next is, ang x minus 1 cubed siya. So, ikatatlo. So, mura kag nagsugod ka sa iyahang 1, 2, 3, hantod sa iyahang last na, kapila siya gi-repeat. So, for example, a over x plus b over x squared, since repetitive lagi siya, plus c over x minus 1 to the power of 1, plus d over x minus 1 squared, plus e to the power of, over x minus 1 to the power of 3 or cube. So, however, we prefer to work out in detail a simpler example as follows. So, for example, this one. For example, number 4. Find the integral of x to the power of 4 minus 2x squared plus 4x plus 1 over x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1 dx. So, first, visually check, visually inspect. Pagtanaw pa lang nato, greater ang degree sa numerator kaysa denominator. Therefore, it is an improper function. So, ato siyang i-perform ang long division or ato siyang i-divide. So, now, we perform the long division. We have x plus 1 plus 4x over x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 1. Okay? So, the second step now is to factor the denominator. So, our denominator is, x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1. since q sub 1, if the value of x in the denominator is 1, it will become 0. We know that x minus 1 is a factor. So, naka-eliminate na tag-isa. So, x minus 1, quantity of x minus 1 times x squared minus 1. Unya, further simplify or further factorize pa nato si sorry, x squared minus 1. So we now have x minus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 1. Ikadwa na balik sa x minus 1, di ba? So we have x minus 1, quantity x minus 1 squared times x plus 1. Next na to nga process is, so the linear factor nga x minus 1, ikaduha siya ni balik or repetitive siya. Therefore, ni-fall siya sa case number 2. So, we perform then the partial fraction decomposition. So, unsaon ganito pag decomposition sa partial fraction kung naatay repetitive 4x or our remainder man nato ni kaganina sa atong pag-perform sa long division. So, 4x over the factorized denominator, which is x minus 1 squared times x plus 1. So, ikaduha man ibalik si x minus 1. So, we write a over x minus 1. To the power of 1, man tanong siya, pero i-neglect nato siya. May mo siya x minus 1 plus b over x minus 1 squared plus c over x plus 1. Okay, so ingon ani ang partial decomposition ha kung naatay repetitive na factor. So multiplying by the least common denominator, x minus 1 squared times x plus 1, we get, so gi-cross multiply nato tong iyahang denominator dere. So we have 4x is now equal to, so kung mag-perform ta, mag-multiply ta sa iyahang common denominator, tapos i-simplify na to ha. So, dahil na taning a plus c, x squared plus b minus 2c, x plus negative a plus b plus c. Pagtanaw na to diri 4x raman. So, this is our equation 8. 4x raman. So, kini pa lang daan, 0 na ni, kini po 0. So, we are left with 4x is equal to b minus 2c, quantity of b minus 2c, x. So, a plus c. So, sa kung gingon kagay na, a plus c is 0, kay wala man tay x squared din sa to ang left side. Same pod kang negative a plus b plus c, 0 gyapon kay wala man tay kanang numerical dere sa pikas. So, it is also 0. Ang mabilin is si b, quantity b minus 2c times x, which is 4x. So, atong i-equate ang coefficient. So, now we have b minus 2c is equal to 4. Now, we obtain the value of, so solving this equation, so magamit ta sa tong calculator. Sige, gamitan ninyo itong gitudlo na ako in how to solve systems of linear equation using your calculator para dili na mo maglisod. So, we obtain a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to negative 1. Thus, ibalik na din nato tong atong gidecompose nga partial fraction, no? I-substitute nato balik sa ato ang given. Thus, the integral of x to the fourth minus 2x squared plus 4x minus 1 over x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1 dx is now equal to the integral of x plus 1, which is mao nang solve na to kaya na tong pag-perform na to long division, no? So, naatay nakuha nga whole value, which is x plus 1, tapos kini din ang tatlo ka function din kini sila are part na sa ato ang partial fraction. Okay, so mao na ni ang katong remainder over the quotient or sa ato ang denominator. So we have 1 over x minus 1 plus 2 over quantity x minus 1 squared minus 1 over x plus 1. So, mao ni ang ato ang partial fraction decomposition na gibuhat kaganina. and substituting the value of A, B, and C. So, therefore, our final answer is x squared over 2. Tapos, i-perform na to ang integral na process din using the basic na integration formula. So, now we have x squared over 2 or 1/2 x squared plus x minus 2 over x minus 1 plus ln of x minus 1 over x plus 1. Since naman tayo kini minus kanino. Gamit na sa tatong ln x minus ln y is equal to ln okay. So, morning na tayo ln, absolute value of x minus 1 over x plus 1. Plus c dayon or plus the constant, arbitrary constant of integration. So now let's proceed with case number 3. Q of x contains irreducible, dili na siya ma-reduce na quadratic factor, none of which is repeated also. So take note, case 1, if the factors are linear, distinct factors. Case 2, if there is a repetitive factor. Case 3, if it contains irreducible, meaning di na siya ma-reduce na quadratic factors. If Q of x has the factor a x squared plus bx plus c, where b squared or where the factor is less than 0, then in addition to the partial fractions in equations 2 and 7, so the expression for r of x or the remainder over the denominator will have a term in the form of ax plus b over the quadratic line na equation niya, itong ax squared plus bx plus c, where a and b are constants to be determined. So, for example, or for instance, the function given by f of x is equal to x over x minus 2 times x squared plus 1 times x squared plus 4 has a partial fraction decomposition of the term a over x minus 2 plus bx plus c over x squared plus 1 sa kaning second term. So, sa next term dayon, we have bx plus e over x squared plus 4. So, the term in formula 9, kining formula 9, the term in formula 9 can be integrated by completing the square and using the formula. So, integral of dx over x squared plus a squared is equal to 1 over a tangent, inverse tangent, quantity x over a plus c, which is our formula 10. So, for example, evaluate the integral of 2x squared minus x plus 4 over x cubed plus 4x dx. First, tanawon sa nato. Asay mas dako, numerator or denominator? Asang mas dako degree, numerator or denominator? So, pag tanaw nato, mas dako ang degree sa denominator. Therefore, dili ta mag-perform of long division. So, we can write or we can use the partial factorization or katong partial decomposition in the term ani atong equation or formula 9. Okay, so therefore 2x squared minus x plus 4 over ang common na nila is x, so x times x squared plus 4 is equal to a over x plus bx plus c over x squared plus 4. So, muna siyang irreducible quadratic function. So, multiplying by x times x squared plus 4, we have mabilin ang numerator na 2x squared minus x plus 4 is equal to a times quantity of x squared plus 4 plus quantity of bx plus c x. So, ato na yung ibangga na sad ang iyahang. So, si x squared, so na siya value diri. So, kini siya, ay kini, so x squared din a plus b is equal to 2, tapos c is equal to negative 1, klaro na daan, tapos 4a is equal to 4. So therefore a is equal to 1. So a is equal to 1, tapos b is equal, a plus b is equal to, moment na equation, a plus b is equal to 2, tapos we know that a is equal to 1, so 2 minus 1 is 1. Tapos si c, klaro na nga negative 1. Nga na ra ang partial fractions class. So, hence, integral of 2x squared minus x plus 4 over x cubed plus 4x dx is equal to the integral of 1 over x, 1 over x plus x. The value of b is 1 man, so 1, so x plus the value of c is negative 1, so x minus 1. So we have x minus 1 over x squared plus 4 dx. So in order to integrate the second term, we split it into two parts. Okay? So integral of kini siya, kini pag yung second term, bungkag pag yun na to siya. So we have x over x squared plus 4 dx minus integral of 1 over x squared plus 4 dx. So we make use of the chain rule for integration. We let u be equal to 2x squared plus 4 so that du is 2x dx. We evaluate the second integral by means of formula 10 with a is equal to 2. Therefore, our final answer is, so moment to gibungkag nato ang x minus 1 over x squared plus 4. So natay duha na ka factor, natay x over x squared plus 4 o negative 1 over x squared plus 4. So we perform then the integral process. Now we have ln absolute value of x plus 1/2 ln quantity of x squared plus 4 minus 1/2 tangent, inverse tangent x over 2 plus k. Okay, so kanus ara ta maggamit aning tangent gani, balikan nato. Kung maggamit ta ay pag natay in the form of inganani x squared plus a squared. So natay 1 over or dx over x squared plus 4 man ni siya. So magamit ta or mag-substitute ta sa tangent. Inverse tangent, sorry. So now let's proceed with example number 6. Evaluate the integral of 4x squared minus 3x plus 2 over 4x squared minus 4x plus 3 dx. So pagtanaw pa lang nato, the degree of the numerator is equal, no? Parehara sila or not less than, dili siya less than sa degree sa denominator. So we can perform the long division na process. So we have 1 plus x minus 1 over 4x squared minus 4x plus 3. So notice that the quadratic equation na 4x squared minus 4x plus 3 is irreducible because its discriminant or b squared. So b nato is negative 4. So negative 4 squared is 16 minus 4 times 3. 4 times 4, 16 times 3. 16 times 3 is 48. So 48. 16 minus 48 is negative 32. So it is less than 0. So meaning, irreducible siya na quadratic function or polynomial. So quadratic equation. So this means it can't be factored. So we don't need to use the partial fraction technique. So to integrate the function, we complete the square in the denominator. So 4x squared minus 4x plus 3 is equal to quantity 2x minus 1 squared plus 2. This suggests we can make the substitution u is equal to 2x minus 1. Therefore, we can use, or we have a du, which is 2dx, and x is equal to 1/2 u plus 1. Thus, the integral of 4x squared minus 3x plus 2 over 4x squared minus 4x plus 3 dx is equal to the integral of 1 plus x minus 1, katong gi-perform nato nga long division, over 4x squared minus 4x plus 3 dx. So we have x, the integral of 1 is x, plus 1/2 ka nag-let u ta, magamit atong chain rule, let u be equal to 2x minus 1. So have 1/2 is equal to 1/2 integral of 1/2 times u plus 1 minus 1 over u squared plus 2 du. So we reduce that function into x, or we reduce the integral to x plus 1/4 integral of u minus 1 over u squared plus 2 du. So x plus 1/4 integral of u plus, ato kini siya, ato na sad siyang ibungkag na sad nato, since we can factor this, may mo siya og u over u squared plus 2 minus 1 over u squared plus 2. Okay? So therefore, we can now perform the integration process here. We have 1/8 ln u squared plus 2 minus 1/4 times 1 over square root of 2 tangent, inverse tangent, u over square root of 2 plus c. Square root of 2, since dapat naka-form of u squared plus a squared man siya. Pero 2 is not a perfect square, so magbutang tayo square root, okay? So, the final answer now is, ibalik na nato substitute ang value ni u, which is 2x minus 1. So, now we have a final answer of x plus 1/8 ln quantity 4x squared minus 4x plus 3 minus 1 over 4 square root of 2 inverse tan of quantity 2x minus 1 over square root of 2 plus c. So take note that example 6 illustrates the general procedure for integrating a partial fraction of the form ax plus b over ax squared plus bx plus c, where b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, or the discriminant is lesser than 0. So we complete the square in the denominator and then make a substitution that brings the integral in the form of integral of cu plus d over u squared plus a squared. So kini atong dumdumon, dapat u squared over a squared ang denominator, du is equal to c, which is the constant. So ipagawas na to, integral of u over u squared plus a squared du plus d, integral of 1 over u squared plus a squared du. Then the first integral is a logarithm or in logarithmic form, and the second is in form of tan inverse tan. Same with this one, naka-ln, kini naka-ln, tapos kini is in the term of inverse tan. Okay, so we're down to the fourth case. Q of x contains a repeated, irreducible quadratic factor. So balik ta. Case 1, pag linear and distinct ang factors. Case 2, kung naay repeated. Case 3, kung irreducible na siya, irreducible na quadratic na factor. Case 4 is a repeated, irreducible quadratic factor. Okay? So we're complete na. So we're about to complete pa di ay, kay we're on the case 4 pagyapon. So suppose q of x has a factor of ax squared plus bx plus c to the power of r, or in terms of repeated na irreducible quadratic factor, where the discriminant still is less than 0. So then, instead of using the single partial fraction katong formula 9, Then, ang atong gamiton is a summation, which is now our 11th formula used in this topic. So, first, in the partial fraction decomposition, r of x is equal r of x over q of x. Each of the terms in formula 11 can be integrated by first computing the square. So, for example, number 7, write out the form of the partial fraction decomposition of the function. So, magkuhan sa ta kung saan di siya pag-decompose ang iyahang partial fraction. So, given x cubed plus x squared plus 1 all over x times the quantity of x minus 1 times x squared plus x plus 1 times x squared plus 1 cubed. So we have a repeated irreducible quadratic function. So we have x cubed plus x squared plus 1 over x times x minus 1 times x squared plus x plus 1 times the repeated irreducible x squared plus 1 cubed. So we have a over x plus b over x minus 1 plus cx plus d over x squared plus x plus 1 plus kay so kini mo maning first na to nga irreducible na quadratic. Next kay kini tapos ikatatlo pag yun siya ha gi-repeat. So x squared plus 1 to the power of 1 pa man na siya. Next kay to the power of 2 to the power of 3 dayon. So we have this partial fraction decomposition. So, ingon ani siya pag decompose ang case 4. Same ra siya adtong repeated or case 2 nato, ang nakalahi lang syempre ang iyahang numerator in the form of irreducible quadratic factors siya. So, example number 8. Evaluate the integral of 1 minus x plus 2x squared minus x cubed over x times x squared plus 1 squared dx. So first, tanawon sa nato kung mag-perform ba ta og partial fraction, no? So x squared daan times x. So kabalo na ta nga numerator, the degree of the numerator is lesser than the degree of denominator. So we are not going to perform long division. Tapos pagtanan nato sa denominator, na siya contain nga repeated irreducible quadratic na factor. So the form of the partial fraction decomposition is now a over x plus first nakuha na ni x squared plus 1 tapos x squared plus 1 squared na dayon. So multiplying by x times x squared plus 1 squared, we have, so pag na ganita din ni class, diri lang ta no, hinay-hinay lang gyud nato siya og simplify tapos combine like terms dayon. Tapos kini pagtanaw nato, so unsa ning first na kuan x cube. So asa man iyang partner aning x cube, so si c extra. Therefore, makabal na ka nga, uy, ang value ni c is negative 1. Kini 2x squared, positive 2x squared. Dari naman siya equate. Tapos negative x, dari naman siya equate. C plus e. Tapos si a dayon, equal na siya kay 1, di ba? 1. Visible. So, if we equate the coefficients of the linear system, so we have a plus b. A plus b is 0, kay wala may x to the 4th power diri sa iyahang left side sa equation. Tapos, c is equal to negative 1. Tapos, 2a plus b plus d is positive 2x. So, positive 2, tapos c plus c is negative 1, tapos a is 1. Therefore, kung isolve nato ni siya simultaneously using your calculator, we have a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 1, c is negative 1, d is 1, and e is 0. So, i-substitute tayo nato siya balik. Thus, the integral of 1 minus x plus 2x squared minus x cubed all over x times the quantity of x squared plus 1 squared dx. So, i-perform na tong integral process. I-substitute na to yung partial fraction decomposition and perform the basic na formula or basic na integration techniques. Tapos, now our final answer is ln, absolute value of x, minus 1/2 ln x squared, quantity of x squared plus 1 minus inverse tan x minus 1 over 2 times quantity of x squared plus 1 squared plus k. So, nahuman na nato ang 4 cases sa rational functions. So now, a little note, avoiding partial fractions. So note that sometimes partial fractions can be avoided when integrating a rational function. So as much as possible, if kaya na to siya i-solve no nga di ta magamit o partial fractions, so let's use the simpler na solution. So for instance, the integral of x squared plus 1 over x times x squared plus 3 dx. So pagtanaw nato sa iya ha, okay? Magamit nato tong case 3 since this is an irreducible quadratic na factor kini ang isa kini x squared plus 3. However, it is much easier to observe that we can use the chain rule. We can let u be equal to x times the quantity of x squared plus 3, which is, kung i-simplify na to, x cubed plus 3x, di ba? X cubed plus 3x. Then, du is 3x squared plus 3 dx. So, the integral of x squared plus 1 is over x times quantity x squared plus 3 dx is equal to ln, or sorry, 1/3 ln absolute value of x cubed plus 3x plus c. Magamit lang tawag chain rule. Okay, kay since si 3, pwede man natin igawa. So we have x squared plus 1 na lang. X squared plus 1 dx. Diba, kini? So kung mag-left u ka din so na din, so may kini may mong neg 1/3 du. So we have 1/3 integral of 1 over u du. So the answer is 1/3 ln x cubed plus 3x plus c. So there is a summary of the lecture sa Nadia sa lecture notes. So din na ako na-discuss. Basta mo na siya ang kuan. And then tayo last, another activity number 9. Activity number 9, which is also part of this lecture note. And due to COVID, na lang tayo mag-perform ng tag-asymptotic high fives, no? Dapat dili lang yun siya mag-meet para walay transmission. So anyway, thank you for listening, class. If you have questions, you can message me or call my attention. Kung na mo'y concerns, pwede mo mamutana. So thank you for listening. Bye-bye.